Namaste friends, and welcome to Ayurvedic Lifestyle Tips with Lala. In today's episode, we are down on the ground because we'll be doing Abhyanga. Abhyanga is the Sanskrit word for massage, and in today's episode, we'll be doing self-massage. So we call that Self-abhyanga. What we'll do is that we'll use an oil. In Ayurveda, we don't put lotions and creams on the skin. On the skin, there are little microbes, as there is on the inside. They really like and feed off of good oils. So we want to use an oil that works with our doshic type. I'm vata pitta, so usually I would use a vata reducing oil, which would be a warming and a nourishing oil like sesame. We could also use castor oil or ghee, but it's been so terribly hot here on Maui, and now that it's October, it still is. So I've actually been using a Pitta oil. A Pitta oil is a little bit more cooling, right? Because Pittas run more warm internally. So there, a sunflower oil or coconut oil would be good. For Kaphas don't always want to be using oil, especially if they have an imbalance, because as we can imagine, they are a little bit more unctuous, right? They have more oiliness naturally. So if they're imbalanced, that's really just going to aggravate that and exacerbate that. So sometimes we could just use, the massage strokes without the oil, or we could use a dry brush. When we use a dry brush, we want to move up toward the heart. So we're working with the lymphatic system. That also brings the energy for kapha upwards, right? Because that energy tends to move down. So we want to warm up the oil regardless. And so I have here a cup of hot water. And we just put this glass bottle in, whatever oil you decide to use, into this cup of hot water, and let it sit for 5 minutes so it gets nice and warm. And again, here I mentioned I used the Pitta oil. I actually have been using this Pitta oil from Banyan Botanicals. I really like this. It's a beautiful blend of sesame oil. What else does it have in here? Brahmi, which is a beautiful skin tonic, very good for the nervous system. It's cooling. It's also got some sesame oil in here because it is very nourishing, which Pittas need, right? They tend to run a little bit. They can be hard on themselves and self-judgment. So to have that grounded, the nourishment is really good. It's got some passion flower in here, which calms the nervous system also, and the skull cap also influences the mind in a peaceful and harmonious way. Traditionally, when we start the Abhyanga process, we start with the scalp and actually putting oil on the head. I don't do that daily because oil, I'm not sure if you've experienced that, but it's not easy to get out of the hair. Once in a while, every couple of weeks, I'll certainly do it because it is so powerful to have those incredible herbs seep into the brain and into the bloodstream in the scalp. But we're not going to do that today. But just know that that's how we start. So our oil is now warm. This oil here, I found this particular oil to be really good on, I'm actually using it as a face oil. But after the scalp also, that's where we start. So we would start with our face. And you want to use a good amount, so a couple of ounces. Abhyanga is usually practiced in the morning. All these videos I've been creating so far have shown you different parts of the daily routine of the Dinacharya, different aspects of it. In one video, I will go over all the different practices so you can see how they sort of come together. And I practice these every day. So that's both the lemon water, the smoothie, right? Which is not necessarily Ayurvedic, but in that we put a lot of Ayurvedic herbs. I do the eye wash, I do the tongue scraping. So you could see when we practice these all together, how that starts shifting your health. So the idea here is that we over the long bones do long strokes. And when we go in over the joints, we do circular motion. So you just do one arm at a time. So long bones, long strokes, and joints, circular motion. And we really want to get in there with the hands. This is particularly nice for me because I do give so much body work and I also cook. So this just feels so stimulating. I just recently wrote a paper on Abhyanga, the practice of Self-abhyanga in particular, and how it is actually an act of self-love. And touch, as we've come to know, is so important for health. And this is a way every day to put some intention and some nourishment into your body system. It also helps bring awareness to or where the aches and pains are in your body. You know, you just every day get to tune into yourself. How am I feeling today? Do I have a little achiness there? And does that little area need a little extra loving? So we continue down, and I sit on a towel over my yoga mat. Like this is exactly how I do it. And then what I do after I've applied all this oil is that I'll then actually do my yoga practice with all the oil on. That way my body heat will help the oil penetrate, and it will help bring all those wonderful herbs into the bloodstream. You saw here over the stomach, I'm doing it according to the digestive tract. So there is the ascending colon, the transverse, and the descending. So we're doing it in a circular motion to follow that. Very soothing. You don't want to be doing Abhyanga if you have, as I said, a kapha imbalance, or if you're having indigestion. You can imagine how that would impair and slow down the digestion. Again, long bones, long strokes in over the joints. So you can see here how every day you're lubricating your joints. Really good for health. This practice, which I've now done for 10 years, pretty much every day, has really transformed my health. It's taken it to the next level. I used to have little aches and pains and acid build up from exercise, but with this, I just don't have that anymore. So I highly recommend it. So this here is just how we continue on. I'll just do the other leg here. And, take your time with this in the morning. Find a little room to do this. And we do this before the shower. So this is a little bit in reverse of what we're naturally used to with applying a lotion after showering. Here instead, we're applying a good amount of oil. And then we go in the shower. And again, there the heat will help drive the oil into the skin. And in this way, you don't need to apply then either lotion or cream afterwards. You'll have that nice sheen both on your face and on the rest of your body. So I hope this inspired you to pursue practicing Ayurveda or practicing Abhyanga on a regular basis. I'll see you next time.